Hey, my name is Kyle Rush, and you are watching the No Counts Given podcast. Dance Team Union is a proud sponsor of the No Counts Given podcast. And y'all, you keep hearing me say it week after week, the DTU flight contest. But listen, you're going to have to listen to this one because round one has already begun. And to enter the DTU Nationals 2026 flight contest, which is powered by Spirit Airlines, follow these 4 steps. First, you have to post one photo of your team showing school spirit on your official team Instagram account, which must be public. If your team does not have an official Instagram, designate one person with a public account to post on the behalf of the team for the entire duration of the contest. 2, in the caption, write a paragraph explaining how your team is currently showing school spirit and include the hashtag DTU Team Spirit. From the account used to post your entry, follow both Dance Team Union and Spirit Airlines on Instagram. Lastly, tag Dance Team Union and Spirit Airlines in the photo. Submissions for round 1 will be accepted through June 20th at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. Semifinalists will be selected at the discretion of Spirit Airlines and Dance Team Union. To be eligible to advance to round 2, teams must complete all 4 steps as outlined in the round 1 submission guidelines. To learn more about how to participate and earn funds for your team, head over to www.danceteamunion.com for more information. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the No Counts Given podcast, the premier podcast for Dance Team. I am your host, Kyle Rush. I am here with you every single Thursday as we are breaking down routines. We are interviewing top dogs of the industry. We are covering trends, all of that fun stuff. Before we get any further, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, actually, we hit 1,000 followers like yesterday. Well, you're going to be watching this on Thursday, hopefully, if you're tuning in as soon as it drops. We hit 1,000 on Tuesday of this week, so the June 10th. And I am very excited. I honestly was not expecting us to get anywhere near like 100 followers within like the first 4 episodes. So I'm just very excited that people are rocking with the podcast and enjoying what we're doing. Look I get your guys' DMs. I get the DMs. I see the messages. I see the emails. I see the comments. And I am very excited that there's so many people that are supporting the No Counts Given podcast. And I hope that you guys continue to support and watch week after week. At the end of last episode, episode 2 with Sammy, I mentioned that I wanted to get 15 5 stars on Spotify. That was my goal. Okay, listen, I didn't check for like 24 hours after the episode dropped. And then I looked and we had like 18. I think right now it's like at 26, which is crazy. So thank you guys for rating us 5 stars on Spotify. Now, if you watch on Spotify or YouTube, do me a favor, make sure you subscribe. I really want to get those numbers up, so I'm going to be saying that for the next few episodes, so don't forget to subscribe. Okay, today's episode, very exciting episode. I have Bianca with the Arizona State University Sun Devils dance team. Listen, if you know anything about ASU's dance team history, you know that this is a top program in the industry, from being Team USA, dominating UDA, going to Dance Team Union College Classic. Every single stage that they have touched, they have just gone to proven themselves to be a top performer, top dog, top elite program in our industry. So I'm very excited for that. Before we get into the interview, it felt only natural for today's episode that I share with you guys my top 5 favorite jazz slash contemporary slash lyrical, because we get how the division is in this industry. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I share with you guys my top 5 favorite routines in these categories. These routines are ranging from like the top 3 college competitions. Again, okay, I don't even think I said this. These are college teams only. College teams only. So we have Dance Team Union, College Nationals, UDA, College Nationals, NDA, College Nationals. And so let's just get into it. Let's get into it. Here we go. This is ASU, Jazz Division at the College Classic, which is Dance Team Union's nationals for college teams. This is the routine to It Doesn't Hurt by Katie Thompson. Now, if you know ASU, like the past couple years, and you're going to hear it in the interview as well too, they always bring something very edgy. So this was more of an emotional, a really like deep dive routine. Like they're really digging deep into their movement and their textures and their movement quality and their technique and the artistry side of dance team. And honestly, one of my favorite routines of this entire season, period. Love this routine. So go off ASU. Okay, now obviously we're gonna have Weber State in this. Okay, how can we have a top favorite routine without Weber State? The athleticism that Weber State has, and I mean, come on now, all Utah teams have is just so incredible, but also like their movement quality and the storytelling and the artistry side, they also do very well at. So like you're getting well versed programs in the state of Utah, and then they all come to Weber State or UVU, and yeah, they look like this. Incredible. Purple Rain. I mean, if you haven't seen this routine with music, you need to go to Weber State Dance Team on Instagram and watch this routine. Watch this routine, okay? The athleticism, the technique, the movement quality, everything about this routine. I love. I love. Now, come on. Come on, University of Michigan. I have to say, I thought this routine was going to perform so much better. Like scoring wise and rankings wise, I really thought this routine was going to be like top 2 after even watching day 1. I think the one thing that I liked about this routine compared to a lot of routines at UDA was the character development in this routine, the artistry side, the beautiful technique that they have, everything about this routine. Like, I'm waiting. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. University of Michigan, I'm waiting for y'all to take home first. I see it in the near future. I see it if they just continue pushing the boundary this way. I see it. Western Michigan University. I saw this routine live, and I wish everyone could have the feeling that I've had when I watched this routine live. Okay, now, if you can't see it, I'm going to tell you. They feature these chairs, okay, these metal fold up chairs in the routine, and they are doing transitions on them. They are doing kicks on them. They are leaping off of them. And when I saw this routine live, my mouth immediately dropped on the floor because this is not something you see every season at a college nationals. And honestly, one of the reasons why I really fell in love with Dance Team Union is their approach to not hold back teams and dancers in any way. You hear me? Like any way. They are dancing with props on the floor. They are jumping off of these props, doing leaps off of these props. You saw that at UDA. If we saw a team do that at UDA, what 20-point deduction? Bye bye. You can't even dance behind a prop. Okay. Anyways, let me not go there. Western Michigan University, love y'all. Congratulations on your first place at the College Classic National Championships. University of California, Santa Barbara. If you have not seen this routine, you need to go to UCSB Dance Team on Instagram and watch this routine. And I'm happy that I'm actually watching this routine with no music playing right now, because if their music was playing, I'd probably cry and tear up again watching this performance. The emotion and connection to their audience and the audience and the judges it was insane. I watched this routine at their showcase right before they left to nationals, and it was just breathtaking. So uh, as you know, if you know me, you know I'm a Gachos fan. Go UCSB, love you all every single year. But this routine just completely it topped it for UCSB. It took them to another level. Another level. Okay, now that was it for my college nationals top 5, or my college division jazz routines, jazz contemporary lyrical, you get it, routines of the 2024-2025 season. I want to know your guys's. Are there routines that you think maybe should have been in this top 5? You're like, oh no, that routine should not have been there. This routine should have been in there. Or are there routines that you have that are your top 5 of the season? I want to know. I always love like seeing what everyone else loved throughout the season. Anyways, moving on. I hope you guys enjoy this interview with Bianca from the ASU Sun Devils dance team. Stay till the end. We talk about some great things: recruiting. We talk about ASU culture. We talk about scouting new talent. We talk about all of the things. So stay tuned and enjoy this interview. I just want to know about you. Who's Bianca? Inside practices, outside practices, on the weekends. Who is Bianca?
Okay, who is Bianca? I am, first and foremost, I am a mom of 5 kids. My husband and I have raised yours, mine, and ours, 5 children, altogether. The youngest is 17. The oldest is 31.
Almost out of the house.
Yes. We are almost empty nesters, which is good and bad.
Yeah.
And then besides that, I would say my whole career, I consider myself not just a coach, but I'm a dance educator.
I love that.
And so I consider myself a teacher first and foremost. I taught high school and coached at the high school level for over 25 years before coming to Arizona State. This is my 8th season at ASU.
Wow.
And I am a proud Sun Devil, and our family is generations of Sun Devils. My mom was a professor at ASU, so I grew up in Tempe, Arizona. And my husband is graduate of ASU. 3 of our kids have degrees from ASU, and I just love the whole atmosphere and the environment of game day, which is interesting when you have a competitive dance program, I think, to also balance the game day aspect, because in our community, that's the number one thing people know us for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I love that. I am a sibling of 5. So
Oh,
I'm the
yes.
oldest. So I love that.
Okay.
Yes, my mom has 5. I was an only child for 11 years. I like to joke and say that it was the best 11 years of my life.
Of course it was.
And then it came sister, brother, brother, brother.
Yes, you're definitely giving older sibling vibes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you. So the first segment I want to go into is called Cut It or Count It.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to start lighthearted.
Okay.
Fun.
All right.
As I work my way to the end, they might get a little bit more controversial. Okay.
Oh, okay.
If you are not here for it, you cut it. We don't want it. It's out of here.
Okay.
If you're here for it, we count it.
We count it.
You have the option to pass.
Okay.
I don't want you to get uncomfortable and force yourself to say something you don't want to say. So
Okay.
you have the option to pass.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
First one, lip syncing and routines.
I think it is appropriate at times.
Yes. Yes. I agree.
Not all times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not all times.
And I wouldn't do it in an audition.
Absolutely not.
No. But in certain moments, a little bit of lip sync is okay.
I agree. In auditions, when I've seen it, definitely not.
No.
I see it like sometimes in transitions and choreography on the competition stage.
Yeah.
It's fun. Or it might be like a hype lyrics.
Yes.
Makes it a little bit more fun.
Yes.
If you're lip singing the whole thing, cut it.
Cut it.
We don't want it.
For sure. Cut it.
All right. Next one. Coaching or doing choreography with the goal of going viral.
No.
Cut it.
Cut it.
I agree.
No, that is never the goal.
I agree.
But I think what's hard is in the current generation of dancers who've grown up with the social media, and that's such a huge part of their lives, that's what they're thinking of oftentimes first and foremost. And so we have to like bring back the focus.
Yes.
Be like, that's not what it's about. If that's a byproduct of what we're doing, so be it. But that's not what it's about.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I love that. Okay. Studio dancers being recruited into college teams without game day experience.
You know, I've had some of that, and I don't hate it. Some of my best dancers are kids who never held a pair of palms until they showed up at my auditions.
I love that. And as a dancer, you should be well versed and be able to adapt to new styles very quickly. And I think that alone shows your work ethic and talent when you're able to. Palm is hard to grasp onto, especially if you come straight from studio.
Yes.
But I too have seen dancers that come in and just conquer it so quick.
Yes.
Because they know how to engage their muscles, they know how to engage their core, shoulders down. It just makes it easier.
Absolutely.
So count it. We like it. We can do it.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Making cuts based off social media presence or behavior.
Ooh. I think that depends on the situation and the student or the dancer. And I think that there are times when, you know, we're trying to build not just great dancers, but we're trying to build a team that has a certain culture, and you need to make sure people are going to fit into the vibe of your team, right?
Absolutely.
So if I'm down to maybe a couple of bubble candidates, and it's like, who's the next person? I only have room for 1 or 2 more. That would be something I would consider, because I want to know if people fit into our vibe or not.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. Last one. Judges rewarding tricks over technique.
Ooh. I think that there's value to both. But I will say, I grew up in an era where it was all about technique.
Yeah.
And not so
Absolutely.
much the
You
tricks.
never saw the head springs, you never saw the kip ups.
No.
The 540s weren't even talked about then.
We didn't no, that wasn't even a thing. I wouldn't even have known what that was. So yeah. So no, I love good technique. But I
Absolutely.
see where the tricks add interest and entertainment value.
Absolutely. All right. So let's go back to the era because I want to go into the
Oh,
evolution
she
of
goes way
dance
back.
team. I want to go back
She
because
goes way back.
I know a lot of our listeners might not, they're in the current era. They
Yes.
probably don't even know when hip hop and palm weren't a thing back in the
Right.
days. So,
Right.
how would you describe the biggest shift in the dance team industry from when you started to now?
I think the level of technique and the tricks and the things that dancers are being expected to do these days is so much more challenging and hard on our bodies
Yeah.
and difficult to learn and perfect than it was, years ago. I mean,
Yeah.
when I was growing up in the 80s and the 90s, it was like the hardest thing people could do was maybe a triple pirouette. I mean, toe touches were just starting to be a thing. It could have been like star jumps, or
Uh-huh.
it was more about visuals and cleanliness and technique. A lot of kicks. I grew up in an era where kicks were really big.
Mhm.
So I love to incorporate that still into game day, especially. But
Yeah.
I just think it's a lot harder and more demanding and challenging. And it's like, even from when we were competing at UDA 5 years ago to where that has come now, it's ridiculous the
Oh
kinds of
yeah.
things that teams are doing. Ridiculous in a good way. It's
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah.
But it's also like, how do we balance out keeping your teams healthy, keeping our bodies healthy, and having a good, productive, competitive season when we're doing these really hard, demanding things?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was watching just YouTube videos from UDA Nationals, NDA Nationals. This was like maybe last week. 2018, 2019. I didn't see a lot of 540s.
No,
I didn't see 8 pirouettes being thrown on the floor
no.
or back tucks now being thrown on the
Right.
floor. I think about like how much it's changed since then.
Yes.
It makes me so intrigued to see what it's going to look like 5, 10 years from now, if it's going to be solely focused on the athleticism that's on the
Mhm.
floor or the artistry and the technique that's on the floor.
Right.
Do you have a preference that you would prefer to see the industry go into?
I do like a balance of both.
Yeah.
Like, I love to see the impressive moves. I love to be a proponent for dancers as athletes.
Yes.
That's a really big
Amen.
push right now, and we're
Amen.
talking about that a lot on our campus. But I also want people to be safe.
Uh-huh.
And because at the end of the day, they're not palm bots, they're not dance bots, they're people,
They're humans.
and they're human beings, and
Mhm.
they're students, and they are, sons and daughters, and they have to be people in this world. And it would be nice if, for those who wanted to continue their career past the collegiate level, if they still had healthy bodies to do that.
Yeah.
So again, I'm a dance educator and a mom, so I might be looking at it from a slightly different perspective than maybe some people,
I
but
agree with the perspective you are looking at it though, because I feel like time and time again I see a lot of dancers and athletes push their bodies to a specific limit where they get injured their college years. They're not able to continue in the pro route or commercial route.
right.
And so, no, I totally agree with you to the point of we have to take care of our bodies
Right.
1,000%
Yes.
and not pushing limits past what you're able to do just for the sacredity of like scoring higher on the score
Yes.
sheet. Yeah,
Yeah. That feels
absolutely.
icky to me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. It like
Yeah.
sends chills down my spine. I
Yeah.
don't like it. Yeah.
No. And I do appreciate, like, what about just great dancing? Like, the kinds of things, the choreography that you would watch that would make you feel something that's
Yes.
not just about, whoa, they just flipped over their heads or did something. You know what I mean? Like, just actual dancing
Uh-huh.
that gives you goosebumps. I'm here for that.
Absolutely. Are there any trends that you have noticed throughout the years that just have elevated the sport to like another level, whether that's like social media or TV shows or just the hype of dance team overall?
So I'll tell you something my colleagues and I have been talking about lately that I think has really changed and evolved, even just in the 8 years that I've been at the collegiate, like maybe in the last 5 years.
Hmm.
It's the intensity of the recruiting process and dancers feeling like they have to go to all these recruiting events and they have to go to all the clinics and they have to go to all the schools and do all the things. And I feel like that has really changed
Yeah.
in the last few years,
Oh, yeah.
like on a whole other level.
Yeah.
And again, there's pros and cons. It's good and bad. Like
Yeah.
I'm seeing so many wonderful dancers come out of all these different parts of the country at these different events and wanting to try out for different teams and have this exposure
Yeah.
that we didn't have for dancers 5 or 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
But I think it also, in a way, it's sad for me to see because it feels like that can become a really elitist thing. I mean, dance is already very expensive, right? So there's kids that get to this level that are only able to do that because their parents could afford or had the time to put them in dance lessons all these years, right? And then now to put on top of that, that you feel like you have to travel all over the country your sophomore, junior, senior year to have exposure with all these different teams just so that you can dance at the college level. That also hurts my heart a little
Yes.
bit,
Yes.
like it's amazing, it's
Yeah.
cool, and it's elevated the sport, but it's also a little bit sad in a way that it's
Yeah.
that intense.
There's a conversation that has been going around on social media that elite college dance teams will not accept a dancer if they didn't spend 4 years in high school at their dance studio. And it's kind of taking away the value of high school teams. How do you feel about that situation of, I'm not going to accept you into my program unless you train 4 years in your high school at your dance studio?
Yeah, I think that that's an interesting conversation, and I think I wouldn't necessarily take a stand on in that way.
Yeah.
Because I was a high school teacher and coach and a studio owner for many years. Okay, all in the same community.
Yeah.
And I tried to make sure that kids had access to all of the things.
Yeah.
So my students at my high school program went to many different studios, and I wanted to continue to foster that. So they didn't have to pick studio over team. They did class with me, which was a dance class, and we had a competitive jazz company. And then in the afternoons, we had a pom team that competed in, hip hop,
Yeah.
and we also did pom and game day.
Yeah.
And they did their studio stuff.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to do all of it.
Yeah.
I wanted them to have that experience of being connected to their high school programs, being connected, school, it's like high school for me was the best thing ever. I had the greatest time and I was on a pom team, and I feel like that's what really made my high school experience.
Yeah.
And I wanted dancers to also have that opportunity at my school that I was teaching at. So I would love for kids to have all of it.
Yeah.
I don't want them to have to choose. I think it's sad when there's programs and communities where, coaches or studio owners are having to fight over students. I wish there was a way we could make it palatable that they could do all of it.
Yeah. 1000%. Arizona State University, successful program for many, many years.
Yes, many years before I got here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you feel, or let's go back to when you actually started then.
Yes.
Did you feel pressure taking on the program
Of
of
course.
having, how did you handle that? I mean, I think about it, if someone handed me that, I'd be like, what do I do? Who do I hire? Who do I bring in? What
Right.
team, so how do you handle that pressure when you were going on and then maybe even now?
Yeah. So I think it's actually the pressure's probably worse now because I think when I first came in, I was like, okay, this is a program that's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And so I kept my first year, especially, I tried to keep a lot of things the same.
Yeah.
And work with the same choreographers and kind of keep things similar or have like a lot of alumni involved and help me advise on, how we do this thing. How did this program work? I think when you're a first year coach, I can't remember who said it, but one of my coaching colleagues from National Dance Coaches Association said one time, your first year is actually year zero. And so, and I agree with that. My philosophy would be first year coaching, don't change a lot. Just besides like maybe your core philosophies if it doesn't align with some of the things that were going on before. But really like keep the things that are working and then you can continue to evolve and build on that as you go along.
Absolutely.
So I think also I knew it was a big deal, but I didn't know as big of a deal as it is now. So I feel like the pressure is even worse now. And I feel like, when we shifted to DTU College Classic and now we're like, winning first place year after year in different categories too. Now the pressure is really on.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you are at the top, it's like, well, these are really great teams we're competing against and they're coming for you.
Absolutely.
So you have to constantly be trying to stay on top of your game.
Absolutely.
Year after year. Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. Dance Team Union is a proud sponsor of the No Counts Given podcast. And y'all, Dance Team Union is going on 10 incredible seasons, okay? This coming up 2025-2026 season, it is 10 incredible years of Dance Team Union. And listen, oftentimes dancers are seen as just supporting elements for other sporting events. The most common misconception that dance is not a sport. And Dance Team Union, they strive for their programs to feel like the main event. Dancers are not placed on the sidelines, but treated and respected as the athletes they are. This need for change in the dance team community is the reason why DTU was created. They are constantly emphasizing that you are the main event through all of their major events and opportunities to this community. Find out when they will be heading to a city near you this season by visiting www.danceteamunion.com. You know what routine I was thinking about?
Tell me.
When I was walking here was last year's.
Oh, last
jazz
year's.
routine.
Yes. With
Bye,
the
bye,
bow
bye.
ties. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
I
brilliant.
was obsessed with the music.
It was a brilliant concept and brilliant choreography.
Yeah. Was that your idea? Was that
no,
Q's idea?
that was all Quentin.
I love it.
Yeah.
Do you give your choreographers like that freedom of creativity to like pick the themes, pick the music, or is it like collaborative approach?
No. A lot of times they'll want to run the ideas by me.
Yeah.
But Nick said something interesting to me recently on that line, and it was, I'm not going to be connected to the music if it's something you gave me. He's like, some choreographers will be, or some coaches will say, I really like this piece of music. I want you to choreograph this. And he's like,
It might not.
Like, what if I'm not feeling it?
Yeah.
That's not going to be the same kind of choreography that you would get if it was something that came from their heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
I 1000% agree.
Yeah.
When I'm going into choreography jobs and someone's telling me what they want, I always have to put in my 2 cents of, okay, well, I want to make sure that I'm connected to it if you want the best product.
Right.
I can choreograph something. I might not love it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah.
At what point of the season do you start planning your nationals? Uniforms, which, by the way, I just saw the teaser of the costumes on Instagram. I love the pom uniforms.
Oh, that's Nick also.
Really?
Nick designed our pom costumes the last 2 years.
I love it. The Sun Devil logo in the front, the nude. It's just...
Yes. Yeah.
It just made me more excited to see what's coming this weekend.
Oh, good. Well, I'm excited for you to see it.
Okay, so back to the question. At what point do you start planning all of the processes for nationals?
Well, it varies from year to year, to be honest. I think what's nice about the schedule that we're on now with College Classic being in the spring is it allows us time to, we really sink into the game day process pretty much all of August and September.
Yeah.
And then we're just starting to focus on competition October, November, and then learning choreo by December.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And then basketball season, you're probably cleaning routines and doing all the sorts, getting ready for this trip.
Yes.
Wow. All right. So I was listening to an interview not too long ago, and the host mentioned that recruiting athletes is almost like a sales pitch. You're at combines, you're meeting athletes. You have to give them that sales pitch to sell the school, the team, the culture. What is your sales pitch?
Ooh, what is my sales pitch? Well, what's interesting about Arizona State, and I think maybe this is just also me having a little bit of imposter syndrome and being super humble, I think Arizona State University, the school sells itself. I mean, it's
Oh,
one of the greatest, biggest institutions in the country,
yeah.
in my opinion. And it's a wonderful climate. It's beautiful. It's fun. Everybody's out by the pool. You're by Scottsdale and,
Yeah.
all the athletics. We have, the Arizona Cardinals, the Phoenix Suns, the Diamondbacks. Like, it's a cool town to be in to go to college. It's a very cool. Tempe is a great college town, but
Yep.
also you're in Phoenix and Scottsdale, and like there's
Yeah.
just so much to do there. So, and there's great programs at the university. Like our business school is top notch. Our
Mhm.
engineering program, like nursing, there's so many great draws to the school itself. But when we talk about our team, I always say that we have a wonderful team culture that we built over the years, and we are well versed. Very versatile program. We do it all. We do pom, jazz, game day, and hip hop throughout the season. You get the full game day experience,
Oh, yeah.
D1A, and now we're in the Big 12, and
Yep.
our football team is amazing, which is a blast. But we also like to work hard too, and we have that competitive aspect as well. So if you're
Mhm.
looking for a really well-rounded program, I think ASU is an easy sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some okay, well, ASU, you guys do not do recruitment, correct? You guys do audition process?
We
What
do
is Okay.
auditions, but I'm into a little bit, I would say, loose recruiting.
Okay.
So I do attend recruiting events,
Yes.
and I want that to be a valuable experience for people who are coming.
Yeah.
So I'm not just going to show up and be like, hey, you're really cool, so come to my tryouts. So there are a few people I try to hone in on at
Uh-huh.
each of the recruiting events, and we don't attend a lot, to be honest, because fortunately, we don't have to. There's a lot of people who want to come and audition for us.
Absolutely.
And so, but when I go to recruiting events, I try to hone in on, people who catch my eye, maybe one or two or a few at each event. And I'll, connect with them and offer them things like you can come to clinics for free in the next
Mm.
season, come to a game for free,
Yeah.
bring a parent, bring a friend, come sit in on a practice. Our practices are closed. It's not
Mm.
open to the public. But if you're somebody that I'm interested in recruiting for our
Yeah.
program, you would have opportunities like that, kind of spend a weekend with us,
Yeah.
hang out, get to know our team vibe, and then we kind of push them through the audition process. So I do have two or three people that I'm recruiting for this year
Yeah.
but they're also going to do the audition process because I like to see all of my potential new dancers perform together.
Yeah.
I'm still a big proponent of I need to see how you guys dance together in one room in the same space at one time
Absolutely.
before I announce my final roster. I don't want a group, I don't want 30 soloists. I need 30 dancers who can dance as a team.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. It just makes that team culture and building the cleaning of routines. It just makes it so much easier.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned something earlier that really stuck with me of, there are dancers that are maybe too busy or can't afford to go to combines and clinics and all of these things. Do you ever scout talent on social media?
I don't, and
Okay.
maybe that's just because I'm not that generation.
Yeah.
That's not really me. That's not really me. But what happens a lot of times is, my students do all that work for me.
Yeah.
So if
Like,
there's,
hey, you got to see this
yeah,
dancer.
check this kid out.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times if somebody is coming into a clinic or an audition and it's someone I haven't met yet, but I should know,
Yeah.
my dancers will tell me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Are there any like red flags, deal breakers? Someone's auditioning, they might be a great dancer, but is there
Mhm.
anything that is like, if I see this, if this happens, it's just an absolute no from me?
Oh, that's hard. And again, I think it would depend on the situation, but I
Yeah.
think it's just, we are looking for someone who fits our team culture again. So we're looking for someone who is humble enough to be able to take feedback,
Yeah.
someone who has good dance etiquette. I don't want somebody who's going to come across as like a diva or like they think they're the star because that's not
Hmm.
what this thing is
You
about.
got to stay humble.
You got to stay humble, and you have to, especially in a collegiate program, you're going to work your way from the bottom, work your way up. So
Hmm.
even my most talented freshmen, they know that they still have to earn their place. It's the seniors are the top of the totem pole and you
Absolutely.
work your way up the program, and that's just kind of how it works. But there's still wonderful opportunities for the freshmen to be featured as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking for people who are willing to work with a team and be a good teammate and
Yeah.
have people who have good character.
Absolutely.
Because we can teach people how to do the things, but you
Yeah.
can't teach somebody how to be a good person.
I love that you just said that. I was having a rough conversation with a dancer not too long ago. And I was mentioning that you could be the most talented dancer in the room, but if the work ethic, the character, the drive does not match that, the talent means nothing. Really.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I love that
Yes.
you just said that. Take me into a nationals practice with you.
Okay.
Let's say I'm a freshman. It's
Okay.
my first nationals practice going in, maybe choreography.
Okay.
What's expected of me?
Okay. So our freshmen are called FOFIs, which stands for full out first year. So you would be
I'm gonna take that.
FOFI. Yes,
I
you would
like
be
that.
FOFI Kyle
Okay.
coming into practice and you're learning choreography. Is that the scenario?
Sure.
Yes. Okay. So we're all going to be matching. When we learn choreo, we're all going to be super presentable. We're going to be respectful. We're going to remember all of our dance etiquette things.
Mhm.
And we know that we are going to work really, really hard.
Yeah.
After choreography, some of our systems that kind of sink in and our traditions are we always do turns the most.
Yeah.
So after we do any kind of a full out, we do turns again. Like while they're still breathing, they just did a full out, they're still
tired
heavy
or
breathing and they can
yes.
barely catch their breath. The music goes on again, we do turns again. Because if
Yes.
you can do turns when
you're
you're
exhausted.
tired, you can do them on the floor, right?
Absolutely.
And then we do a lot of film, but it's a little more individualized. It's more homework.
Okay.
So you have a competition notebook and you're expected to take notes during practice, but you also have homework where tonight I want you guys to go home and watch the videos from practice today. And you're going to write down 3 corrections for yourself and 3 team corrections. And then we're going to be focused on those things when you come into practice the next day. So there's a lot of time outside of practice. So we maximize our time together that you're going to be thinking and working individually and come super prepared.
Nice. What are some ways that the university supports your team?
Oh, great question.
I know it varies from program to program.
It does vary from program to program. And what's really nice, I think we're in a new era right now. We just had a new athletic director and a whole new like admin team come in the last year.
Okay.
And they came in already wanting to know more about us and already wanting to have conversations about how can we support you more.
I love that.
And that's been an incredibly refreshing, wonderful place to be. It's like a whole new environment. So we this year started having, the school was providing snacks and meals for us at games. They like customized and decorated our locker room for us. On the first game we came in and there was pictures of the kids all over the walls and just really they want us to know that we're important. We don't have all the things yet, but we're moving in the right direction. So that's really nice.
I'm sold. I want to go to ASU.
You should.
I want to.
You should.
I just want to come to a game.
Yeah,
Just
come to
once.
a game.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
How do you build and protect culture year to year? Especially new dancers coming in, you have your seniors graduating out. How do you build that culture and protect that culture?
I think what's really cool about our program is I think that the dancers hold themselves and each other accountable to that. So they really take ownership and they really bought into what the culture and the values and the traditions are.
Yeah.
And they help pass it down from year to year. So it's important to them that those things don't change. And again, I think it's part of your selection process is I'm not just looking for people who can dance well. There's a lot of people who can do that.
Absolutely.
There's
especially in Arizona.
Yeah, incredible amount of great dancers out there. But it's about finding people who fit that culture already, and then you build upon it and you educate them on this is who we are and what we do and why we do it.
Yeah. So ASU has gone to UDA 4 years. And then you said, I believe 5 years ago, you
Yes.
transitioned to Dance Team Union.
Yes.
What made you want to make that switch from UDA to DTU?
So, part of it was driven by our athletic department, and our supervision at the time was very adamant that because we're a game day program, we really shouldn't be gone in January, because that's a time we should
Heavy
be.
basketball season.
It's heavy, and we do men's and women's basketball, and those
Oh,
are,
yeah.
it's a really big deal. So they really wanted us to be there for those events.
Uh-huh.
And so it was presented to me like, can you find something else, still competitive, but find something else that's at a different time of year? So I was very involved during COVID with the National Dance Coaches Association, and I knew people from DTU, and I believed in who they are and their product. I knew Dave Sanchez, I knew Corey,
Amazing
and
people.
yes, and then some of the judging staff, that
Yep.
these incredibly professional people who I'm like, I know these people know what they're doing, so let me check this out.
Yes.
And like I said earlier, the time frame works better for us, really, with all of our game day commitments to be here. And I think the thing that I do love the most, and that I'll tell any coach about DTU's events, is that I think the judging is very professional and it's very transparent.
Yes.
So I'm never at a loss for like, I don't understand why we didn't score something,
Yep.
or how we earned these scores. It's very, very transparent. It's very thorough, and it's very professional.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. For those watching now, dance college classic already passed.
Okay.
Give me an insight for this weekend. What am I expecting for Palm? What am I expecting for Jazz? I am very excited.
Okay. For Palm, this is
Uh-huh.
what I'll say. We literally have a little trick up our sleeve.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Will I know it when I see it?
Oh, you'll know.
Okay.
Because I literally almost just gave it away, but you'll know.
Okay.
And it's very fun, and it's a little bit of a throwback too.
Okay.
Which of course I love.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
I love a good throwback.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then for Jazz, we're doing something very different for us.
Yes. You have a new choreographer this year.
We have a new choreographer.
Uh-huh.
It is Olivia Salerno from Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And so she is just darling and fabulous.
Yeah.
I met her through a Choreography Pros convention.
Yeah.
I'm good friends with Vicki Harris, who owns Choreography Pros. And just like when I met Olivia and I saw her meeting my dancers, there was just a connection there. And I was like, we're like the same people. We're the same kind of people. We get each other.
Yep.
And so we've had fun working with her. It's definitely been a process.
Uh-huh.
But we're doing something different than we've always done something a little edgier, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
With ASU, and it's something different this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the goal a 4-peat?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yes, we hope for that.
Now, going back to the ones listening, because if you're interested in ASU, listen, because we're going to talk about methods for scouting new talent.
Okay.
All right. What makes a dancer stand out to you in an audition or even like a video submission?
Okay. So this is my new favorite phrase.
Okay.
The best dancer in the room is the one who's having the most fun.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. You should be. If you love what you're doing, that fun should come very natural.
And we're going to see it and we're going to feel it.
Absolutely.
That's what we want.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. Have fun in your auditions.
Yeah, have fun.
There's no reason why it shouldn't be either. Do you prioritize versatile dancers?
Yes.
Or do you look for dancers that have like specific fill-in spots? Maybe you're losing a senior that had a great leg and you're like, no, we need a leg this year.
No, I've never thought of it that way. Maybe I should, but I don't.
I'm going to go into like a little insight. I danced for the Warriors dance team.
Yes, I saw that.
And I always noticed during auditions,
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, I danced for Blue Crew, which is the all-male team. And it's hard to
cool.
It's hard to be selective when it's all male. You can't replace.
So cool.
Yeah. But there would be times where I've noticed I'd be like, there was a tall blonde, short brunette, great turner. They all left. And then somehow the new dancer is tall blonde, short brunette, great turner. And I was like, I'm starting to see this pattern here.
Right. I think that's more common at the pro level.
Yeah.
Because I think that's
You're fitting an image.
Yes, that's part of building a pro team.
Yes.
I think we have a little more flexibility in what we do at the collegiate level. You know, I'm like, again, I'm an educator, so I'm just looking for all around great dancers, good kids, nice people.
Yes.
And we can make them fit. We can teach them the things. In fact, I looked at my team maybe like a month ago, and I was like, we don't have very many leggy people here. I was like, should we
stretching at home.
Working on legs? Like, why did I not notice that before? Like, we have great turners. We have people who can jump. We have people who can emote.
Yes.
We have things, but I was like, we don't have a lot of legs. What's happening?
How much weight do you put on technical ability versus coachability and attitude?
Ooh, I like them both.
Yes.
I mean, I think technical ability gets you in the door, right?
Yes.
It gets
you seen.
Yeah, it gets you in the door, and it gets you among the finalists and the people who should be considered.
Yeah.
But I think there's definitely a lot to be said for coachability. Again, because not everyone on my team has all the same skills.
Yeah.
We have some people who have different strengths. And I always say that's okay. But we want them all to be, seamless and look like they have the same ability level when they're on the dance floor together, performing together, obviously. So we'll coach those things up. But it's nice if they have versatility when they get in the door.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken a chance on someone?
Yes.
That completely paid off?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I've also had the opposite experience once or twice, but more often than not, it pans out in the best way possible.
Absolutely. You got to trust your gut a majority of the time.
Yeah. I have a senior who's performing this weekend who said to me recently, because I recruited her online during COVID, and she even said to me recently, Caryl, how did you know? Like, how did you know? And I'm like, I just knew. I just knew.
So they call you Caryl.
I'm Coach Caryl.
I love that.
Caryl.
I love that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think it's because when I started, I was still teaching high school. And so I was, Mrs. Caryl there.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of bled over. And I have kids that were on the team that were also my high school students at one time. So yeah.
All right, let's go into prioritizing fitness and dance team.
Okay.
During my research, I found that you are a fitness instructor.
I am a fitness instructor.
Do you prioritize fitness with your team?
So that's an interesting thing that's evolved over the years as well.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that a lot of it is because as dancers, and we, most of us, our programs are not fully under the athletic department where we have access to trainers and weight programs and all these things. And so dancers have had to take that on themselves more.
Yeah.
And I think that again has become a team culture thing where it's like, and I'm a huge proponent of, I love diversity in all ways. I love every kind of I love diversity of body types. I don't have all skinny ballerinas on my team.
Yeah.
But what I love is fit, athletic dancers. I love, because I want us to be athletes. I want us to be considered athletes.
Yes.
And to be able to do all the incredible things that we're pushing ourselves to do these days, you do have to have some level of fitness, right?
Yeah.
To maintain those skills.
All right. Final segment before I finish it off.
Okay.
This is called Count on It.
Okay.
Like I said, I asked my Instagram followers, send me messages. If you were in this situation, what would you want to ask a college dance team coach?
Okay.
This question comes from Naomi Pastrick.
Oh, okay. I love Naomi.
Turns incredible.
She's fantastic.
I've never seen a releve that high.
Yes.
It's insane. How do you decide what style of jazz best fits your team, since jazz is such a broad category?
It is so broad. And I think, it's like in the jazz category, you see everything from lyrical to funky contemporary to what we've done maybe the past couple of years here has been more of like a classic jazz, like a hard hitting jazz, sassy jazz even. So again, to me, that goes back to the choreographer's inspiration from year to year. And then how do the dancers really dig into that? So this year we're not doing classic straight sassy jazz.
Okay.
That's a hint. But the dancers have really dug into, like, from day one of learning choreo, they were already performing it. And I'm
Ooh.
like, whoa, okay,
Ooh.
this is going to be cool. This is going to be
Yeah.
different for us and really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, let's finish this off.
Okay.
How does Bianca want to be remembered in the
Oh,
dance team community?
how do I want to be remembered? I think I would say I would like to be remembered by my colleagues as a fierce competitor, but at the same
Mm.
time, very supportive. So I have, K-State and us are like this in categories
Yep.
here. They always beat us in pom and we're like, man, we want to really win that someday. But I love K-State. Like the
Uh-huh.
Classy Cats and the Sun Devils
Mhm.
are always vibing, together in the Big 12
Oh,
and
I
doing all
love
the
that.
things together. So I think there's a lot of people that would say that, hopefully say that we've been fierce competitors, but we're also very respectful and friendly and supportive at the same time.
Yeah.
Like really, at the end of the day, I'm a girl's girl, and I want to see success for all of my friends and all of my colleagues. I celebrate success for everyone.
I hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Bianca from the ASU Sun Devils dance team. I keep saying ASU Sun Devils dance team, but it's ASU dance team. Mascot is the Sun Devils. Anyways, one thing that I thought about during this competition, the College Classic, when I was there and I was posting routines and I was reading comments. No, we're not going to go there. 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 Should I go there? Should I go there? Should I go there? Okay, there is this like need. There's this need for people in the comment section to like define a team success, okay? And like for example, on my ASU video, a lot of the comments were like, why don't they go to UDA? They need to go back to UDA. They need to do this. They need to do that. They need to go here. They need to go there. And it frustrated me so bad. Why do people in the comments have to dictate what someone's success is for them and not just praise people on the success that they are already receiving? It doesn't matter where you go. It really does not matter where you go. How you perform on stage, it's not going to change stage to stage to stage, right? So, anyways, that's just my 2 cents. I just thought about that, and I think that's a conversation I want to have in the future. Not right now, because the interview was already long, and I don't feel like rambling on anymore. Again, if you have not done so, like, follow, subscribe, share with your friends, send them to your neighbor, play this at your next dance practice. Let us be a way to help you get through the craziness of summer on your dance team. And come and join us every single Thursday. Click on our profile Thursday, follow along, enjoy the ride, and have a great rest of your guys' day.